All right, back home, a high fire danger warning has been issued for the entire Western Cape in light of runaway fires in the region. Different parts of the province have been gutted this week, including George, Tulbagh and Vermaklakate. Currently, George is enveloped by smoke and ash because of a fire on the Outeniqua Mountains. Authorities say, however, the fire isn't a threat to the people and infrastructure. Last year, runaway blazes in Knysna killed 7 people and gutted hundreds of homes. The Knysna fire report found the fires were most likely caused by human activity, but was unable to say if it had been started on purpose. Now, to get the latest on the runway fires in the Western Cape, we are now talking to the province's disaster management spokesperson, James Brent-Steyn. James, thank you so much for speaking to us. Now, tell us exactly what plans do you have in place as disaster management in light of this recent warning?
Well, we just deploy as many resources as we can to what we call the fire lines, where the fires break out, and try to put these fires out. We want to urge the public to inform us as soon as they spot smoke or fire. Don't assume that it's been reported. It's critical to get to these fires as quickly as possible. The conditions in the province remain atrocious. Very strong wind in places expected for the days to come again. The underbrush is very dry. And if there's a spark or there's a problem or there's a little fire that breaks out, it gets out of control very quickly.
Now, tell us exactly what parts of the Western Cape are facing this possible disaster in terms of the area. I know that you were speaking about a total of 9 kilometers of backburns currently being put in place.
So the big challenge at the moment, which has been happening since about Monday last week, is ongoing fires in the Outeniqua Mountains in George, and this fire is still a big problem. Firefighters have been actively engaging that fire for what's now 7 days, but it's now coming over the mountain, and this morning it was heading towards parts of George. So a backburn was initiated, which is about a 9-kilometer long strip where we burn up the mountain towards the oncoming fire. So that backburn is still being done at the moment. It will eventually be about 9 kilometers. I believe about 5.5 kilometers has been done at this moment, and those efforts will be going on through the night. Other challenges, of course, it's very difficult. We can't fly at night, so aerial resources can't be deployed. Those are the water bombers. Earlier this morning as well, even in the daylight, it couldn't be deployed either because of the aerial resources are very dependent on the weather conditions. So if there's a lot of smoke, a lot of mist, and especially in mountainous areas, it's simply too dangerous to fly. And that makes it, of course, a lot harder to actually just put out these fires. So at the moment, there's about 250 people on the ground fighting these fires. There's more resources incoming. And we certainly hope that we'll have a better news when the night's out.
Now, talking about that wind direction, I believe there is some good news on the horizon, especially as it speaks to tonight, with the wind direction expected to be on a southerly direction. What does that mean exactly for the disaster management recovery?
Well, if the wind's blowing the fire down the mountain towards where people and buildings are, then that's a problem. The indication seems to be that the wind's turning and will be blowing the fires back up the mountain. So it will help the backburn to go towards where the fire's coming from, which means a backburn destroys the fuel that's in the way, essentially. So when the problem fire reaches the area where the backburn has been, there's no more fuel to burn, and then the thinking is that the fire will burn itself out. So that's the secret of a backburn, very simply. So with the wind direction moving up southwards, up back towards the mountain, we're hoping that'll add, that'll give a boost to the firefighting efforts on the ground. Of course, with the wind in the Cape, you never know. It could change again at any minute, and we certainly hope that is not the case.
Now, my final question to you, we know with these disasters, there is also some form of disaster in a form of the firefighters that are busy with, the recovery as well as fighting the blaze that has been ongoing for a couple of days now. What safety precautions do you have for your firefighters? I mean, especially with the recent loss that we've seen in that province just recently.
Well, these guys are professional, and we want to urge the public and people who want to volunteer or think they can help to fight the fires to please desist from doing so. You need people that are trained, highly skilled, and experienced in these kind of conditions to tackle these fires, and then the teams that are on the ground are those kind of people. So, and they are very well managed and well supported as well. So there are multiple things in place to look after their well-being. And we want to thank the public as well for the support firefighters have been receiving. I mean, as usual, the Western Cape public has been quite supportive. And any further donations are always welcomed, and people can make drops at the George Fire Brigade station in Mitchell Street. And we want to again urge the public in the areas to pay heed to public warnings, listen to the local media. If the situation becomes more serious, people will be alerted. So there's no need to panic. There's no need to stress at this stage. We will inform people speedily if the needs arise.
All right, thank you so much. That was Western Disaster Management spokesperson James Brent Steyn talking to us about the runaway fires in the Western Cape.